a lot of what my clients want in the direction of the mythological creatures that I design, and so that again in itself has become a very strong designing advantage for me in many ways compared to jewelers and people that other artists that just create regular artwork in whatever facets they go outside of Aboriginal art. So I've been very blessed to be able to work with people on that level where I can tell their stories through all of creation and then make it into mythological designs. So it's really quite it's so versatile, and it has so much freedom in it, and yet you're confined to traditional design works, which is really keeps a respect to the origin of it, and also gives me a lot of contained shapes that I have to tell all these stories about people in.
What's it like working with some of the bigger companies that mass produce items to sell your designs?
It's like an expanded project that I do with some people that want wedding rings or totem poles or things like that. Designs you're just basically taking it in a direction of a particular product they have in mind. One of my companies that I've been designing for quite a number of years called Panabo Sales in North Vancouver, and I guess if you've done your research and seen all my product around, that's where most of it comes from. And then within Panabo, there's Magenta and Boma of the same company. So I work with them quite a bit, and we've been doing got a whole new series of collector totem poles that we're just starting a commission on. So that's very exciting because, when you talk about authenticity and look at the respect that a lot of people have towards traditions, and whether it's Aboriginal or just, historically based into whatever race they're interested in as far as the culture, Panabo has been very respectful, and they pay their royalties on time and discuss all avenues of using my designs, because I've given them the freedom to select from designs that I submit to them, and I submit a lot, so they database that, and so I trust in the fact that they give me access to their books. They give me everything's very well taken, into the direction of respecting the artist and their questions and ideas. And so it's when I work with, and I'm just actually starting another relationship with a company out of the U.S., which is very similar to Panabo and respect of actually market some product for them too. So when I start off with these kind of people, of course, I do background research and I look into the track record of the other artists, what kind of artists they're dealing with, and it's pretty easy to see that if a company is dealing with particular artists throughout the years, it's easy to see that they have respect from that artist, and that's one thing that Panabo has done, and all the good companies that I've worked with, they really are concerned about maintaining a long-term relationship.
And so what are kind of the things that you have in your checklist to make sure that a company is going to be respectful of your work?
Well, first I look at how they approach me and how they track me down, and what. First of all, I think one of the most important things is what they. When you look at a percentage that the company will pay you for the usage of your art, I like to see exactly what sort of education they have on and transparency on how they pay out their royalties, because some product isn't going to sell as well as others, especially small, cheaper stuff. And so with the lower end product, I take a smaller royalty off of that. And And then if there's more expensive items, then I'll take a higher cut off of that because a lot of the more expensive stuff won't move as fast. And if it does, then you have an extra blessing in your royalty checks. But I also look at because I know so many artists in the marketplace. I've talked to a lot of artists about dealing with these companies, and that's usually how you get your best feedback is talking to the other artists. So nobody can really pull the wool over anybody's eyes now because if you're well established in the marketplace, you usually know a lot of other artists, and then also looking at, like I was saying, about a longevity of a relationship with an artist that's already been designing for these companies. Mm. So, and I've had other artists that I've recommended and that have asked me about which companies are good to deal with, and so all of the ones that I deal with now are highly recommended. And there's some competitors that we have that unfortunately, they copy what we do and try to, beat us in the marketplace. And we really don't pay much attention to all that. We look at just coming out with new, fresh designs, and so I think, even the fact that the companies that I work with, if you look at how they respect the artist and how they look at promoting them, displaying what they do with them, as far as if they acknowledge that they're paying royalties for everything, that's a good transparency to see. And I think Cannibal is about the only company I've ever seen that actually advertises that they do that on their tags for all the product. So
yeah, you mean like the name of the artist and where they're from? Is that
stating on the card that royalties are paid to this artist.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Yeah, and then sometimes, I haven't sold out many of my designs, and I have had a few companies in the past that just outright buy the design off if you like the copyright for it. So that's a better avenue to go for some companies if they can afford it. And but I've been so comfortable with the companies I work with that I just whenever I'm designing something, I just send it off to them right away. And sometimes I don't hear about it or see a product from it for 5 or 10 years, and all of a sudden there's a new product on the market that they produced.
Mm. And so, in terms of the labeling on the product, what is important for you to see on the label when it's in stores?
Mainly your name and the origin of your heritage, as far as what nation you belong to, and just that's usually all I care about. Or having my signature on it is important because it states a personal commitment from me directly. So, and I've had a lot of designs stolen, of course, through the years, but you go after somebody, and the best you can do is just tell them to stop, selling your work, because it's you can't afford to sue everybody.
That must be
I can't afford to sue anybody.
I guess what are your thoughts on inauthentic art in the market, where you also sell things? Do you think it's a problem?
I used to think of that years ago, and I even avoided doing low-end art just because of the fact I didn't want to cheapen my originals. But as time went on, when the market changed and people just weren't spending the money in them, especially now, the mid-range now seems to be fading out considerably because of the way that our economy is going, and how higher powers that be that are in control of it have been squeezing out the middle class. So that's why I turned my attitude about it around to the extent of looking at that I wanted my work to get out there as much as possible, and as long as it was good quality, I had to learn to accept that, and so it's just the way that the market is going. It's saved me when I don't sell a high-end piece of artwork and I got pieces of jewelry sitting around.